Good morning. I am doing my bills for the month and going over my budget. Every business you'll need to have a budget anyway, so I thought it would be maybe helpful to show you a little bit about how my budgeting system works. When I have set up um, the sheet a little bit so you can see. This is one format, the monthly budget that is just set up through Google Docs. And you can just enter your expenses as in categories. There's a summary sheet that can show you starting balance. It can show you your income and all of your expenses. And then transactions. This is a place where you can type in all of your expenses, and then it will transfer all of those. They're connected. So entering the transactions can show up on your front page, and it will show how much money you have, how much you plan on getting. Anyway, so this is an easy way. However, I like a little bit more detail and a little bit more freedom. I have monthly bills, my budget, and contacts and passwords. So I'm just going to show you the monthly budget section and how I work it each month. When I was working in the office, I would do it on a weekly basis every Friday. That was part of my weekly routine. And I would go over the expenses for the previous week and then also projected expenses for the next week coming up. So I think it's important until you get a complete handle on the exact amount of your expenses to do that as frequently as possible. Some people even like to do it every day, especially when you're just getting started. Every penny that you track will really help you to set up a good budget and to also let you know where you're spending things, and where you might be able to cut if you need to. On my tracking sheet, I have the date 1 through however many days there are of the month, and then your income and the date that you expect to receive that income. When you are working in simple practice, you will know a couple of days in advance when you will receive your funds from the collections that you make. But personal, sometimes it's harder to find the exact amount and the dates. But anyway, I think that's a good idea to have your income and what days you're going to expect to be paid. I have utility section, and working from home, the space that you use in your home is what percentage of your home. And that is the amount that you can deduct for utilities. For example, I use I'm guessing about a quarter of my home I use for my business. I deduct 1/4 of my mortgage payments and a quarter of my electricity and my city bills and my phone bills. I am able to, at the end of each month, I'm able to figure out exactly how much I have spent, and I'll show you some of the formulas. But anyway, that's one category, utilities. And then marketing. When you're first starting your business, when you want to grow, you'll want to be everywhere you possibly can, all over the internet. I do Facebook ads and Instagram ads, Pinterest ads, Google. It's actually Google Plus is what you pay for. And there's Psychology Today, an excellent way to market your services for anyone that's in the mental health field. Yelp is a great place. It's just like Yellow Pages online. And then, of course, your website, and LinkedIn is a great site, but there's so many different ways for marketing. And these are just some of the ways that I use. And so I have a category for each of them. Education, I do online trainings. If I have any student loans, I put those there. Educational material, I buy books or CDs, and I'll add all of that on here. Supplies, office supplies. I consider some of the software that I pay for to be supplies also. like Intuit. Quick was another name of QuickBooks. I pay for that each month. I pay for myfax.com. That's also, I think it's $10 a month for that. So I keep that on here. Cost of goods sold is also, well, actually that should be in a different category. I think I should put that over here. I have these miscellaneous categories that don't have a lot of, let's see, cost of goods sold is a category of itself. And then I can delete that one. Okay, so then I have phone in here, client incentives. That is another category that can be put somewhere else. Let's see. And then postage, personal owner pay. And this is my understanding. You're going to want to check with your CPA on this. This is what I do, and it's what I have been doing, and it's what our CPA advised us to do. So it will depend on your business, I'm sure, and how you want your taxes set up. But there were two different ways that we were paying my my former employer, and that's because he owed taxes, so he wanted to have some money taken out each paycheck as his W-2 employee, as a W-2 employee, and then any other amount that he was paid as a 1099 employee that was just separate from the W-2. So from what our CPA was telling us, it is it's just a way for you to get your taxes paid. The IRS still has your social security number or your tax ID number for both of them. So it's not, you know, like you're going to get away with anything. It's just a different way of paying taxes. So another thing for personal, a lot of people don't know, is medical expenses. You can track and write off. Business attire is also part of it. It depends on your practice as well. If you are doing online videos or some kind of, you know, being maybe a public speaker, you're going to want to have some certain outfits or clothes that will help with your business. If you are in a business that does not require you to be you know, have a business face, then that's not one that you could write off. And then just I have miscellaneous categories. These are just categories in and of themselves. It's just it's not a category that has different sections. So like meals and entertainment, every time I go out to eat with a client or even just a family member, we talk about business, that's something that you can write off. Cost of goods sold would be any products that you buy. And then, you know, for reselling, you are buying maybe some paper products that you're putting together with your notebooks or your workbooks that you're selling, then that's a cost of goods that you sell. Contributions, that's for donations, charitable contributions. Insurance and licensing is another one. For business, insurance for your business and licensing for your business. Professional services would be attorney fees, or let's see, also web designers is a professional service. Loans, well, it's auto, so anything auto. Actually, that needs to actually be another section. I want that to be another section. So I'm going to insert 3 here. And then I'm going to turn this into, I'm going to merge these cells and make that auto. And then I'm going to put gas and maintenance. Gas. Maintenance. And insurance. And that's only if you're going to use your car for business as well. That's if you're not using your car for business, then it's not something that you can write off as well. That is that. I also keep track of unexpected expenses because I have quite a few of those. I will enter in a note, I insert a comment saying what it is that I spent money on. And then at the end of the month, I'm able to see how much down here. I see this is a total of how much I've spent. And then I can keep track of that. And then mileage. Mileage is calculated at, I think right now it's 56 cents per mile. I don't have to look that up because I haven't been deducting my miles, but I think it's around 56, 58 cents per mile. So keep track of your mileage every day, every week that, if you can, that would be fabulous. It's a good reimbursement. They reimburse for gas and for miles. The government does for taxes. So there's to show you how how I calculate everything. On the bottom, I have here actual total and then projected total and the difference. So I can just do, actually, I'll delete that formula and show you how to do it. Okay. So I click here, sum, and then I click on the left mouse and I scroll up or down, either way. And then I press enter. And so this will sum B4 through B34. It starts here. This is B4, B4, and then 34. This is B34. So that will be the same on all of them. So I click on the left mouse again, and I pull the screen over with my mouse. And then when I get to the end, I let go. Mileage is actually different, so I delete that as the formula. I won't do that one. And then this section, you have to just enter in manually the projected amount, how much I expect to pay in each of the categories. And I get that information from going over my expenses from the previous month. The difference is calculated by, I can do the same thing. I did for difference, I did sum. I mean, there's different ways I know, but this is just easiest for me. I do sum, and then I do projected amount. I click on it, and then I come up to the top here in the formula, and I do minus, and then I click on actual total, and then press enter or return, and then that is B36 minus B35. B36 will be how much income I expect to make this month. So you put your projected amount, and then you put the amount that you actually earn will be in each of these slots. So same thing. I click on the left mouse, and then I drag over to the end, and then I press return. Actually, you just let your finger up on that one. And that's how it goes. And then here, same thing I do for income. My income total is an actual total income sum. Okay. And then my expenses, my actual total expenses would be calculated by clicking on this and dragging it. And I put shift and right arrow. And it goes to all as far as I want it to go, and then in return. And then the balance is, again, sum. It's my income. I go up to the top in the I don't know what's called, the bar up there, minus expenses. And then there's my balance. So as I go through each of these areas, oh, that's too big. Oh, that's obnoxious big. As I go through each of these, I can make the changes. I like the font to be uniform too, but you don't have to do that. But anyway, that's how you do it. Oh, if you want to freeze the screens, this is more like Excel 101. I highlight the place where I want it to freeze, and then you just do you highlight it, and then you do view, and then when you freeze it, you just freeze up to the current row or however you want it, and then you can also freeze the side. I wanted to do it here just because I want to have the date noticeable. When I scroll over, I can see the date, and it just makes it easier for me to know exactly what square to put it in. And that's the same way you do view and then freeze and then column up to the current column. Um, anyway, that's how I do that. So and it doesn't let you do it if you have some merged lines. This one for me is merged because I don't know why I do that. Anyway, that's the name of my whole spreadsheet. It's hard to print. It's hard, but you won't be able to see it on one sheet because it's so big. But I do this every single month, and you can print it. And let me show you what it looks like. I'll just show you. That's what it looks like if you were to print it. And so if you can read all that, you really could. It's just fine, but it's tiny. So if you want to get an idea from month to month what your expenses were and how your budget is looking, and for a business for sure, you want to stay on top of it. But anyway, so there you go. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer. I'm not an expert budgeter, but when I do business, I'm very detailed about businesses. So for my own business, obviously I'm starting to get there for myself, but for personal, it's a lot more lazy, and I just have an idea of how much money I'm making and how much money I have to spend, and I get my bills paid, and then the rest I spend. So that has not been the best pattern for me to do for personal, but I am anyway getting in the habit. And that's something important to remember too, is that we can give ourselves credit for the things that we are improving on. That's your encouragement lesson for the day. So I don't know what that doesn't look good. So just have fun with it, and well, let me know if you have any questions. Thank you for watching.